We're not going to start until we get something organically natural, okay? That's the deal. Make the deal. Say yes.
From St. Joseph, Missouri, here is Travis Lee Hartman.
Welcome to the latest episode of Weighing In with Travis Hartman.
Guess that was organic.
That's the end. Organic and natural. This is episode 52, ladies and gentlemen. This here is B Money, the producer, right here. That over there is Weekend Trav. You look a little different. It's the whistle. It must be.
It is a whistle. I'm wetting my whistle.
Oh, boy. So we're here coming from the TH Boxing facility, one of our media partners. Thank you so much, TH Boxing, as well as IF Enterprises, as well as Gulfstream Financial. We appreciate your media support. Weekend Trav, 52 weeks we've been at this. That is rounding out a year.
Wow. We have not missed one single episode in 52 weeks.
Yeah.
I think that's cap off to you. Tip my cap to you, sir. Producer, you've done very, very
well.
Well,
It's the whole adage of what's the definition of insanity?
Doing the same thing over
And over again, expecting a different result, you know.
But guess what? We got one. Our last episode was the most viewed episode.
I think so.
In our 1 year.
You know, and we appreciate all support and all feedback we get and comments, things like that. We like having exchanges with other boxing fans and people alike. So we do appreciate that on episode 51 and others along the way. We've had plenty of folks chiming in at all the different episodes along the way and followers. Thank you so much. It's been great, and we're going to keep this thing going next week, I think, for our anniversary episode.
1 year.
1 year, so it might be a little late because it's 4th of July weekend. I know I'll be out of town, so just out of complete discretion there.
Weekend Trav celebrating his birthday, so
very true. I'm going to be celebrating your birthday away from you.
And America's birthday.
And America.
America.
You know what? If you ever had a question about our country and our defense system, I think POTUS went ahead and put it to bed. We got plenty of nuclear bombs. We got plenty of tanks. We're ready to go. And speaking of tank,
the only tank that I care to buy into is Gervonta Tank Davis.
Yes, and
Did he not make a statement?
I think he made a statement, and we're going to talk about that statement here in a few moments. We also have the return of Lomachenko. He took on Masayoshi Nakatani in it was a very, very solid matchup over there on ESPN Plus and Top Rank. We'll talk about that and what's next for both of the winners of both of those bouts heading into these latter weeks in the summertime and into the end of the year. But Weekend Trav.
Yes, sir.
You got to give me a little bit of, I don't know, direction here. What are we looking at? You got you're wetting your whistle. You got the... There it is. You got the specs. How's our audio? Our audio is good.
I think we're good.
You got the zebra shirt, the pinstripes here. What's up?
Listen, I've been listening to people. They've been private messaging us on our Instagram, maybe about
at Weighing In with Travis Hartman on Instagram. You can find us. Not a lot of activity there because that's his department.
Yeah, sorry, but they told me that I need to start keeping B Money in line. So I thought, what better way than to dress up as a referee? I got the whistle. I'm official. I got my glasses because now people can't say, you can't see anything, ref, put your glasses. I already have my glasses on, so I can see everything. I see right through you right now. So you say something wrong, I'm going to flag you.
So when I used to ball, this is in football or basketball, I was always that guy out there that was trying to like buddy with the refs because I always felt like you give them a little love.
Of course B Money was.
Yeah, you give them a little love. They give you a little leeway on the, you could start talking a little smack as long as it's okay smack. I was that guy. I was kind of like the guy patting them around the side.
See, I was the opposite guy. I was the guy getting technicals and thrown out of games because I was yelling at the referee. So, don't rail at me, please. We're in a boxing gym. We're throwdown. It's going to be the throwdown in Joetown.
Wow.
I boxed in St. Joe, Missouri one time.
And you called it the throwdown in Joetown?
I didn't put it on, but the promoter called it the throwdown in Joetown.
That's actually pretty cool.
That is it is.
I like that.
Off topic, of course, per
Well,
usual.
how about the throwdown in O-Town? Boom. Done.
Boom.
Trademark.
Wow. Right here. There's two O-Towns for me because I grew up in Osborne, Missouri.
Yep.
We're in Orlando, Florida right now. So we're going to have a throwdown in O-Town. It's going to happen.
You heard
Credit
it
to
here
B-Money.
first. You heard it here first. Today is June 27th, if you aren't aware.
Episode 52.
Episode 52 for the number one Beards, Bourbon, and Boxing podcast shot in Orlando, Florida, specifically in a boxing gym, specifically in Laureate Park, shot on a Sunday or Monday. Today is Sunday.
I always love the very end. Shot on a Sunday or Monday, and today is Sunday.
That's a very important demographic, and we're number one in it, okay?
In the world,
In the
folks.
world.
We're not just talking about Orlando, Florida. We're talking about the world. We're on the big stage.
Yeah.
We're on the big stage.
But it has to be the demographic shot in Orlando, Florida, specifically Laureate Park, specifically a boxing gym.
Exactly.
On a Sunday or Monday.
You can't beat that. You can't beat the
Today's
TH
Sunday.
boxing facility.
No. So
What? Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, Weekend Trav.
Gervonta.
Yes,
Amazing.
all of our fun talk, all we want to talk about, let's get right into the boxing stuff. That's what you're here for. That's what our followers are here for. Subscribe below, by the way. Also give us
Thanks
a thumb
for
up.
100, by the way.
Yeah, we're up to 100. I
We
think
hit-
we
we
could
hit this-
double that in the next couple millennia.
weeks.
So, Gervonta Davis, Mario Barrios.
Yeah, whatever.
Barrios.
Barrios, yeah. We get the point.
Solid matchup. 11th round TKO in Gervonta Davis's favor. Give us the rundown here. Give us your thoughts. Weekend Trav.
A phenomenal fight, and more phenomenal that Gervonta moved up a couple weight classes to 140, which is light welterweight or super lightweight, I believe they call it. So either way, it's 140 pounds. And I actually low-key admitted this to B-Money before we started recording. I said, low-key, I almost put a feeler out there that said, beware of an upset, possibly, because of the height difference. And Barrios is 26-0. Like, the dude is undefeated world champion, WBA world champion. Like, the dude's undefeated for a reason. He's good and he's bigger. And it wasn't just his weight that was bigger. The height difference.
Yeah.
And if you watch Gervonta's fight against Leo Santa Cruz, in my opinion, was outboxing him. And I think the scorecards were, I think Gervonta was only up 1 point on the scorecards, but he was putting together such an amazing game plan and doing the right things against Gervonta that I thought Barrios was going to do the same thing. I thought he was going to have a heyday with him, but B-Money, I'm looking at the scorecards right now. The scorecards are so lopsided that I don't agree with them. They had, at the time of the stoppage, they had it 96-92 for Gervonta, 97-91 for Gervonta, 96-92. The reason I bring the scorecard up is because I think in the 9th round, maybe Floyd Mayweather came into the
It
corner.
might have been 6 or 7. Don't quote any of us on
Yeah,
that.
Mayweather came into the corner and said something to Gervonta, who he promotes, and it was just like, hey, unofficial, you're down on the scorecards. And Gervonta kind of freaked out. I was like, what? And Mayweather was like, unofficial, man, unofficial. He goes, but step up, be great, do what you do, whatever.
Yeah.
And, dude, I'm going to give Gervonta a lot of credit because I've been a big critic of him because of his outside things that he does. I don't think he has a lasting ability in boxing with his extracurricular activities, but his talent inside that ring, it's phenomenal, man. It is. It's phenomenal. He literally put away Barrios in the 11th round, and he put him away in just like spectacular fashion. The fact that he put this guy away and he moved up to 140 pounds when he turned pro, I believe, like 126, which is like featherweight. He literally turned pro at 126. He moved up to 140, which is like 3 or 4 weight classes above where he turned pro at. So I think 3 different weight divisions now he's won world titles in, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, the
you
fact
guys
that-
don't realize one world title is great.
Just having success alone in 3 different weight classes, two different weight classes is impressive. But then also to carry a belt in all 3 of those, even
phenomenal.
that much more impressive. I think we saw kind of the same things there, Weekend Trav, as we were talking about the fight. It wasn't exactly lopsided. I mean,
No,
it was a
that was a
good
competitive
fight.
fight.
It was
Yeah, it was
very
competitive.
competitive. And you know what? Gervonta Davis was making up for that reach difference, that height difference. He was doing what he normally does there. You mentioned Leo Santa Cruz, kind of the same story there. He was figuring out ways to close that gap and show his power. The fact that you can translate that power from such a natural lighter weight, and as you get older, and naturally you get heavier, to have that same power is amazing.
Yeah, and I think that's – so you want to rewind a little bit and talk about a guy, Adrian Broner, who was knocking people out at 130 pounds, 135 pounds, and then he moved up to 140 and even 147, and you didn't see that same power because usually that's what happens. When you move up, it doesn't have the same effect on the other bigger guys. However, Gervonta, he didn't put that myth to bed, but he gave it a really good start. He put it down. He's reading in a bedtime story right now. It's not to bed yet, but he's reading a bedtime story because – He moved up to 140, and guys, watch the fight. He put it on this guy.
He sat there. He pulled out the old book, Good Night Moon. Good Night Moon. I don't know. I read that as a little kid. And instead of Good Night Moon, it was Good Night Mario. And he took him. 11th round. Good Night Mario.
Put him down, I think, in the
TKO.
8th. Yeah, put him down in the 8th, and then put him down once in the 11th, and then he stayed down. So, and Barrios had a cut under his eyes from a legal punch. So, it was a great fight. Listen, again, I'm going to say this. I am so biased when it comes towards boxing, but boxing's been delivering. Last weekend was a good weekend.
This was a
This
very
weekend was a good weekend. A hodgepodge weekend last weekend, but all those fights were pretty solid.
Yeah.
They might not have been promoted to where we would have liked, but very solid. If you tuned in, you enjoyed it.
And frankly, I mean, I have to say, this wasn't exactly promoted great either, in my opinion. I mean, obviously, we both run a 52-week-long boxing podcast, so we're somewhat in the world of boxing.
Yeah,
you
of
more
course.
than me, but we're paying attention. And even me paying attention, I still don't feel like it was promoted that soundly.
Yeah.
Right? Because I think especially ESPN, they want to cover more on what's going on in the NBA playoffs right now and all that sort of stuff. Hockey's definitely in action, getting into the Stanley Cup Finals, close to it anyways. I think we might have
Tampa Bay Lightning.
Tampa Bay Lightning made it. So this still felt like it flew under the radar a bit.
I mean, listen, I don't know how or where you kind of base that on. Like, what more would you want to see, I guess?
The impression from my loins.
From your loins, okay. So I think the ratings are going to turn out to show that, like, it was promoted well because the ratings are going to be very good. But I think that for most of us that watch, to us, a well-promoted show is a Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather. You saw it everywhere.
Well,
that's
crazy. Yes,
super fights. So when we don't see that,
to me, that's more the exception.
So when we don't see that, though, we think we're like, oh my gosh, they could have done such a better job. But I think they're doing the best they can with what they're working with in terms of it's just ESPN. It's not pay-per-view. I guess Tank actually was on ESPN. Tank was on Showtime.
Wasn't
Yeah.
it?
So I think it was promoted well, meaning that they're going to get good ratings, and I think a lot of people actually did end up tuning in.
And they
so
had
in that regard,
they had a UFC event to contend with as well.
they had BK whatever, what's that, bare knuckle stuff, that going on as well.
It was a big weekend for combat sports, which is great.
Combat sports taking over, bro.
We are combat sports advocates. We are not only boxing or MMA. I would rather see, as long as it's competitive, you have two men in there or two women in there, really just it's pure on combatant versus combatant. I'm a supporter of that crap, 100%, all day long. So, yes, another big weekend, not just for boxing, but in general.
Combat sports.
Combat sports is doing wonders here, and I think is setting up themselves very well for the future. They were the first ones, when we think about it, rewind a year ago, Weekend Trap, a year, when we were first developing this concept. We started a boxing podcast in the middle of no sports.
Yeah, we did.
There was
right in the middle of the
nothing.
pandemic, 2020.
There was nothing.
That's right.
And the first things that started leading us out were combat sports.
Yep.
Not team sports.
Yep.
Football, yes, I mean, kind of, but boxing started coming back.
It did. We had some big boxing
And
matches last year.
that's what's helped. And so, Gervonta Davis, let's give a final thought here. Later in the show, we'll go to what's next for him, but let's button up this event.
Yeah, I don't know what's next for him, but you know what I would like to see, because I mentioned this guy's name already, and I want to mention it again. I don't know if it'll happen, but he's got Mayweather ties. I think I would not mind if Adrian Broner got another big fight, and it was against Tank. Because Mayweather and Adrian Broner used to be like, oh, they were kind of semi-tight, whatever, and Tank and Mayweather are semi-tight. They have a little falling out every once in a while, but I would like nothing more than to see Tank knock out Adrian Broner. That's this kid's appeal. Again, he doesn't deserve big fights, but because he's got under enough people's skin, like mine, I will openly admit my weakness in this. He doesn't deserve that fight, but I would like to see him get knocked out by Tank Davis. And that whole Mayweather connection, it could make for a really, really good lead-up, because Adrian Broner and Mayweather kind of had a little falling out. Now Mayweather is promoting Tank Davis, so it would be really, really good, a little grudge match almost.
So the real question mark is going to be what weight class, I think. I mean, he's stepped up, two different weight classes.
Yeah, is he
going to
stay at 140? I don't know.
I don't know. So that is the question mark as to what could possibly be next. I'd imagine it's going to be wherever the money's at, to be honest with you. There's a lot of names in the hat around that weight division, so it's going to be tough to pinpoint what would be next for him. Josh Taylor's been thrown out. I saw that.
A huge fight. That's 140. A huge fight.
Yep.
I think that what Tank Davis did, and maybe this was because of Mayweather advisement, but he did a great business move because he can fight from 130 to 135 to 140. You have that kind of leverage over 3 divisions. You just put yourself in that mix to make some big, big money because now you can pick from 3 weight divisions, the best in every one of those weight divisions, the biggest money fight, and you're there.
Yeah.
You're going to get it. There's no reason why you won't get it because you're literally undefeated. You've done 130, 135, 140. Like, he deserves it. So business-wise, phenomenal move. Boxing-wise, phenomenal move because the kid can fight and he's exciting. And, I mean, the kid knocked this guy out, by the way, in the 11th round. And I can tell you as a boxer, my legs are usually gone 99.9% of the time after a boxing match, right? Mm-hmm. Tank freaking did a backflip off the top rope, bro. Like, after 11 rounds of boxing, he did a backflip. Like, kudos.
He had 2 spotters just in case right there at the turnbuckle. But he
didn't ask for it. They ran out there.
But the gold tassels were flowing. He looked good. He looked impressive in that fight. You want to see maybe an Adrian Broner. I wouldn't mind seeing a Josh Taylor thrown at him.
A more legit fight, you're correct.
I think that's more legit, so that's why I don't think that would be the next one. I think there's going to be something in the middle if Josh Taylor's name is floated out there down the road. Who knows? But Gervonta Davis, believers out of us. You made believers out of us on this one. Now just get the personal stuff all worked out. Let's transition on to another kind of a smaller fighter for the weight class, right? So we're talking Lomachenko. He made his comeback against Masayoshi Nakatani. Yep. And that was on ESPN Plus, Top Rank on Saturday.
Yep.
Weekend Trav, impressive. I mean, I watched this thing. It was impressive from round 1 through round 9. It was the typical Lomachenko fight. A few rounds processing data, processing what Nakatani's thrown at him. Nakatani being very timid in there because knowing full well who is on the other side of that ring from him. But, I tell you what, off of a shoulder surgery and to be back and looking that impressive, it was pretty incredible to watch.
It was. And, I mean, to be fair, it was a hand-picked opponent, essentially, because it was funny. Here's exactly why Lomachenko and them picked him is because he'd fought Lopez.
Yes, and took
he
Lopez
went
the distance.
12 rounds. Although Lopez won 10 of the 12 rounds on all 3 judges. No, he won 11 of the 12 rounds on one of the judges' scorecards. So he utterly dominated the guy.
But
didn't put him away. But what I want to say about this is, I know that I'm not going to be gushing over Lomachenko like some people are. I forget the guy's name that was commenting on our previous podcast, episode 51, about Lomachenko. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to rewind a little bit and say that Lomachenko was supposed to look good against this guy. He had a guy in front of him that was essentially, no disrespect to any boxer. I really don't mean this as disrespectful. I just mean Nakatani was a punching bag. And I mean, that's what he was. He was a punching bag.
What was his record?
19-1 going into the fight. His only loss was to Lopez.
Okay.
But he hadn't fought anybody before that, though. That's the thing. He fought a 5-0 guy just like 3 fights ago. So, listen, I'm not disrespecting the guy. He's there. He fought for a world title. He's on that stage against a Lomachenko. But what I want to say is, I can't take a lot from that fight because Lomachenko was supposed to look good. And when you have a guy in front of you that literally stands in front of you and lets you punch him, you're going to look good. 99% of people are going to look good when a guy stands right there in front of them, okay? Lomachenko is special, though. Agreed. I openly agree that Lomachenko is special. But I don't think this fight told us what we wanted it to tell us.
No.
I don't.
Yeah.
Did he knock him out before Lopez, and quicker than Lopez did? Yeah, but he did in the 9th round, and I don't know that told me anything different about what I already thought about Lomachenko.
So the ref jumped in on the 9th round, and really the 9th round is where all the punishment was really happening. He had knocked him down, or he slipped a total of 3 or 4 times in the fight. Lomachenko was as smooth out there. Okay, he was the slips, the rolls, everything was. He put almost everything on display, including his midsection. That to me, when you watch this fight as well as when he fought Teofimo Lopez, yes, I know his shoulder was hurt in that fight, leading into that fight, but it just seems to me that he wants to bait people into his midsection. He's willing to take that punishment. So I don't know what part of the computer processing for the Matrix this is, but it's obviously working because For as much punishment as Nakatani may have given him in the midsection, it didn't matter because he slipped around it, rolled around it, olayed him a couple of times, and he was back. Boom, boom, boom. Combination, pump, peppering him. And it really just started unloading on him on the 9th round. Just very impressive. For this to be the post-surgery fight, and I know he was basically the purpose for fighting this guy was, number one, because he should beat him. He should beat him.
Yep.
He should beat him, and
100%.
it's a quality opponent. It's not like a name drop opponent, but it's a quality opponent, and it's somebody that took Teofimo the distance.
Yep.
That's a mental game.
For sure, and we don't know what was going on in the Teofimo Lopez fight. Maybe there's sometimes that fighters legitimately, I'm telling you right now, that sometimes fighters will go into a fight and they'll be instructed or kind of told, we need you to get rounds. We need you to get rounds in. We need you to go 12. And maybe they decided before that fight even happened that, like, you know what? We want you to go 12. I want to see how you go in 12 and test yourself.
I think part of it, again, when Nakatani took on Teofimo, I believe when I heard some of the post-fight stuff, had to do with height. And Nakatani's a tall guy. What is he, 6 foot, 6'1", something like that?
Yeah, but I mean, Lopez is short like Lomachenko, though, too. Lopez is
short.
Well, no, Lopez is 5'8".
So this is the tallest guy.
Shouldn't have gave him that much trouble.
This is the tallest guy that both of them have fought. So Teofimo went in there, and I think that was the hesitation, was because of the height and reach difference.
5'11" and a half, so pretty much 6 foot, though.
Yeah, exactly. And Lomachenko, he's listed on that as 5'7". Yeah, okay.
Lomachenko's more like 5'6",
5'7"
probably.
with stilts on, right?
Yeah.
So I think when 2 years ago when Teofimo took on Nakatani, I believe
they
that
got
was
about 5'7".
the
I don't agree with that.
The problem wasn't anything else other than the fact that he was trying to process his height and whatever.
For sure.
So this was a statement win. This was a statement and a mental win for Lomachenko, and there's a reason why Lopez's father was waiting. He was waiting to try to rush the ring, to try to tee everything up. I think that's a dangerous play because, number one, Teofimo hasn't gotten past Cambosis yet.
Yep.
And I'm so there's plenty of people saying, oh, he doesn't have COVID, he just couldn't make weight. I don't know about that. I probably had COVID.
I believe that he had whatever happened. I believe it, and COVID's just been stupid, and it's been a nightmare for everybody.
But we still don't know. Still don't know what's going to be the result for him physically when he comes back.
Yeah, we don't.
It could be nothing. It could be something. And now the rumor is possibly maybe not even August on that one. It might get pushed off to September.
Well, I don't think so because the dad came in the post-fight. Him and Bob Arum actually came in an interview with I forget the guy's name, but it was an ESPN, and even Bob Arum said something about him getting over COVID. And he's like, oh, no, he's already back to training. He's good.
Well,
the dad said he was 100%
well, crap,
healthy
I hope
and good.
so, because guess who frickin' trains him? His dad.
Yeah.
And his dad was there.
His dad would know.
And but the fact that his dad was there around everybody, and, and possibly the carrier of this stupid thing.
That's why we don't even, we just don't know.
That's a whole other story, right?
Yeah.
But so my takeaway, let's go back to the actual fight at hand. Lomachenko looked solid.
Oh, for
coming
sure.
off of surgery.
He did.
He looked
like Lomachenko.
He looked like Lomachenko. People, if you're seeing the highlights, you'll see a little nick above the head, but that was a accidental headbutt, I think, in the first or second round. Other than that, he had no damage on him.
Yeah.
None.
The guy's such a clean fighter, man.
Clean. And he walked through him. He basically played with him for about 8 rounds. In the 9th round, he took it home.
Yeah. I mean, that's Lomachenko. Lomachenko, literally, that's why I didn't really need to see this fight because I'm on air saying it multiple times. I'll say it again. I'm on an LA Secback video saying it where I think that if Lomachenko and Lopez rematch, I said it in January. I said if they rematch, I think I'm picking Lomo.
Yeah.
And this fight didn't change my mind one way or the other.
Lomo
looked like Lomo.
Yeah.
He made me more confident in my pick, but I'm not changing it. I think that if Lopez gets past Cambosis, which he should, but that's going to be a tough one. If he gets past him, I see Lomachenko beating Lopez. And I'm not trying to take anything from Lopez because I think Lopez 100% won the first fight. Fair and square. Injury or not, I don't care. I say it's fair and square because Lomachenko, if he was injured, he shouldn't have took the fight. So, fair and square. When they both step into that ring, you're healthy in my mind.
Yeah.
So, if you stepped it through the ropes, you're healthy. Meaning that when Lopez beat him, I'm not taking any credit away from Lopez for beating him because his shoulder was a little injured. I got to give Lopez credit. Lopez won, fair and square. He won a decision, fair and square. I watched the fight. There was only a couple of rounds that I could 100% give Lomachenko.
Sure.
There was a couple of rounds where he literally did dominate. A couple of rounds for sure. The other rounds were close for sure, but Lopez won that fight. Long story short of all of that is, I like what I'm seeing out of Lomachenko again. The guy looks like he's back to the matrix, back to himself, back to what he does the best. He's smart, he's intelligent. He puts his punches together in volume. He's not a one-punch knockout guy, never has been, but he will volume punch you and place his punches so well that you won't know what hit you. So I honestly, about the midsection comment, I've honestly never noticed that with him, but what I think it could be is Lomachenko has been knocked down to the head multiple times now. So I think maybe he is a little gun shy. So what he does is he'd rather give his body up than his head.
That could be.
So maybe that's why they're just so high and he gives his midsection up. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, this is a mental thing for sure for him, but it could be where his body's like good, his body's strong. I've never really seen him hurt to the body. So maybe he's just trying to protect his head because he's been dropped before.
I mean, listen, strong
multiple times.
Strong like bull. So when it comes to Teofimo Lopez, we're going to be coming on, by the time he fights, if he fights in August, that's about 10 months since the guy's had real action, and that's not good. I mean, we were singing his praises just a few weeks ago, but now there's just question marks. Like, we just don't know. I mean,
the more you're out of the ring, that's just natural progression of things.
Out of the ring, you throw this stupid China virus involved in it too, so you just don't know. And then you have a very eager Kambosos on the other side now.
Yeah.
And now this is going to be 2 months removed of when they should have fought. He's going to be even that much more eager to shut this thing down. He's
been away from his family for this long, dude. He's from Australia?
Yeah,
you know he probably didn't fly back home.
So let's do this on Lomachenko. I mentioned what's next for all these guys. So Lomachenko, we understand what's next potentially. Let's go in hypothetical mode. Let's say George Kambosos beats Teofimo Lopez. What then is next for Lomachenko?
It's got to be Kambosos.
You think?
It's got to be.
Okay.
I think that it will. I think it would be Kambosos. I think Lomachenko beats Kambosos.
Oh yeah.
And then all that's going to need to happen is, honestly, it depends on how he beats Lopez. If Kambosos beats Lopez, it depends on how that fight goes. Because honestly, Bob Arum is notorious for this stuff. Notorious for like not giving a crap about those fights and just getting a rematch regardless, and just bypassing all the loss for one, and still would do a rematch. And honestly, we'd all buy it still. Sure. That's to be fair.
Absolutely.
If Lopez and Lomachenko fought, even though Lopez just lost, I would buy that fight still.
Yeah, I'd still.
Because I think it would be a circumstantial win, meaning like maybe all the stuff that's been going on, you know, the delays, all that he's been out of the ring for 10 months. So I would still buy it, and I wouldn't be surprised if Top Rank and Bob Arum do that. So it could be, or Lomachenko could be like, hey, I want a good easy fight. I'm gonna beat it up on Kambosos, and then I'll fight him.
Yeah, I want my belts back.
Yeah, then I'll fight him. So 100%. I think that's the key right there, what you're saying. I think that there won't be a rematch based on, I think that Lomachenko's going to be like, I want my damn belts back.
Yeah.
I don't care about you. Right off into the sunset if you have to, but I'm going to fight Kambosos. If you fight somebody after Kambosos, or maybe you try to rematch Kambosos and beat him, then I'll fight you. But otherwise, I want my belts.
Yeah, because here it is. It's if you remember right after the fight back last year, they're like, no on the rematch.
Yeah.
No.
It's funny how that works, right?
It's funny how that works. So that's obviously a very much hypothetical, and so we don't want to write off George Kambosos. I know we kind of did on our prediction, but that fight never materialized because of frickin' China. But, you know, it is what it is. So to us, that seems to be what would be the natural progression of things for Lomachenko. But once again, the final take on that fight with Nakatani, man, he looked good. He looked like the old Loma.
Yep.
It's hard to find something other than like the abdomen area. I mean, it's hard to find something that was wrong. I mean, just looked good. He just looked good. His footwork is awesome. I mean, if you up and coming boxers, kids, watch this guy. His footwork is unbelievable.
His placement and how he positions himself at every single turn of the game is phenomenal. Until you actually do boxing, you don't realize. Actually, I think even watching him, you might even realize how amazing what he does it is. But like as a boxer, my whole life, and I watch what he does, I'm just like, guys, that's special. You can't do stuff like that. Here's the thing.
He doesn't have, even for guys his size, he doesn't have like an awesome reach or anything.
No, he's short. He's 5'7", but he's literally 5'5", 5'6".
It's his footwork that extends that for him. He is just smooth like butter out there. I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible to watch. I mean, you're just watching amazement. I'm sorry. I mean, it seems like we all have a massive, hard-on for Lomachenko, but dude,
he deserves it.
Dude's a stud. So
I don't mean that in. Okay.
Oh boy.
Anyway.
Oh boy. Anyway, so that's the final take on those two fights. It was a great weekend for boxing. I think it's going to be kind of a light weekend given the 4th of July weekend coming up this time around. I didn't see anything major on the calendar. Correct us if we're wrong. We could be wrong.
There's nothing.
We're never wrong.
I think usually, if you look in years past, it always happens. It's 4th of July weekend. There's not usually a lot of fights because most people, it's the 4th of July. You're outside setting off fireworks. Nobody's usually inside. And boxing promoters, please don't schedule boxing matches on the 4th of July because I'd rather be outside enjoying the fireworks than inside.
And even if you're local or our actual leader of this country says that we shouldn't be celebrating, celebrate the 4th of July. America, definitely.
Happy birthday, America.
Happy
come
birthday,
on.
America. Look at the lengths we've come as a country. Doesn't matter your political affiliation, but look over the past 365 days. Look where we are now.
Yeah.
Incredible. And getting better and consistently better.
Yep.
Not because of one person or 10 world leaders or U.S. leaders, because of us.
The American
Not us too,
citizens.
But America.
Yeah, agreed. I agree with that. Like we band together when we need to, and that's why we're called the United States.
Yeah.
We're a bunch of states that got together and united, and we overcame a lot of craziness, which was the British Empire, which, whatever. You know what's so funny about that is that almost every year I'm usually in England on the 4th of July.
Oh, sure.
Because my wife is
so it's Wimbledon, and let's talk about that real briefly here, or as brief as we need to. So your wife is out there currently. Give us a rundown of why she's at Wimbledon.
So, yeah, it's crazy because usually she's there playing, but she's also 5 months pregnant, almost 5.5 months pregnant, actually. She's coaching a player, Danielle Lau, American, who graduated from USC out in California. She qualified for the main draw of Wimbledon, which is pretty awesome.
Incredible.
This is Irina's first, full-time coaching gig because she's pregnant, so she stopped playing, obviously, and she's been coaching this girl for, 4 or 5 months maybe, and literally this is the first time this girl has ever qualified for Wimbledon. So it's a special moment, and I'm pretty happy because Danielle's been here to our house in Orlando. She stayed here and trained for weeks at a time.
We met her at your house.
Super polite.
Super nice. So her final play-in match was, you mentioned against who or against the number?
No, so the semifinals of qualifying, she beat the number 2 seed.
Yeah.
In the whole, literally number 2 seed in qualifying, which that girl normally with her ranking would have been in the main draw.
Yeah.
So it was very unfortunate for that girl to lose because she normally, based on her ranking, would have already been in the main draw.
It wasn't close. It was 6-2, 6-2.
No, she
6-2,
won straight
6-3.
sets. Yeah, it was she won pretty heavily.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she's doing phenomenal, and I'm not, listen, as a player or as a boxer, and I box myself, and I coach as well. Irina's not taking credit for this at all, but it's just, I think she does deserve a little bit of credit. Obviously,
Sure.
I'm her biggest, one of her fans, so I think Irina deserves a lot of credit. But Danielle is she's playing free. I mean, her boyfriend came out there with her as well, so it's just a really good setup. It's got good vibes all around, so I think
great.
they all can take a lot of credit for what she's done. But she plays tomorrow.
Listen, there's talent, but there's also directing the talent, so coaching is extremely important too. But the fact that Danielle has the talent to be number one where she's at now, but also getting into the full field, that's awesome. Awesome. So congratulations to her for getting to where she's at currently, and then we're rooting for you too.
Yeah.
Keep going.
She's not done yet.
We ain't done. We're not done.
She has a really good chance too. She's playing a British girl actually as well. So could be awesome. Katie Bolter, so she's playing, who's very good, but it's a great opportunity for Danielle to actually make it to the second round of Wimbledon.
Time to put her down, because you know what? Obviously 4th of July is coming up, but you know what they think of that day over across the pond? It's Happy Treason Day. Happy Treason Day to us Americans over here.
I'm sorry, I have a lot of British friends, but I'm sorry. It's just Happy Birthday, America still.
And by the looks of it, you wouldn't have wanted to put up with us anyways. I mean, look at the way we are.
Right? Come on now.
I think you were fine.
Bunch of snobby Americans that wear
You were
wigs.
fine clipping us off of the empire.
You're trimming the fat off, essentially.
Well, yeah. I mean, got a little bit. I've gained. I haven't been able to stick to any sort of specialized diet or anything. I don't know. I like lifting too much, and I like eating.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So, Weekend Trev. We talked to fights. We talked the fact that there's nothing really coming up. But let's talk to the fact that we have done this now for 52 straight weeks.
Holy cannoli.
And next week will be, I guess, the anniversary episode. Wow. What comes to mind when I ask you about this? How does it feel to have been at this for 52 straight weeks?
Listen, it's pretty awesome because if you look at my personal Instagram, in January of 2020, I made a post and I said, Travis Hartman boxing podcast is coming soon, right? That was January. Okay, January 2020. I didn't follow up on that. I mean, life got busy and I didn't.
Sure.
And I remember we talked about it. We discussed it even, like we should do a podcast, right? Well, B Money finally in July of 2020 comes over to my house and says, we're doing a podcast today. I'm packing everything up. We're coming over. We're going to do it. We recorded our first podcast in our upstairs bedroom.
No.
Of my.
The first one was downstairs. The second one was upstairs.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was my kitchen.
And listen, you guys can see all this.
They're still there.
If you go into all of our videos on YouTube, and even if you're wherever you're following us on the audio, everything is out there. So you just scroll down to the very bottom. When you had presented me with the idea, or you've been thinking about doing this, whatever else, we're just sitting around we're drinking.
Spitballing, man.
We're at a where were we at? Nona Blue? Can't remember.
I can't remember
We were
either,
drinking
actually.
somewhere here in Orlando, and we were just having a good time. We're just like happy houring or something like that. And before we know, it's like 2 hours roll by.
Oh, no, I think it was Nona Blue because we might have been watching a football game or something. I think it was Nona Blue.
Maybe it was.
Yeah.
And so we were just drinking and talking the whole time. Like when we get together, we talk. We don't just sit there and, look at the wall and, smack our puds or anything.
Smack our puds.
We're talking and whatever else. And so 2 hours rolls
It's
by.
never boring with us.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, that was it. I don't know if anyone wants to hear it, but that was one. That was an episode.
You literally, every time we would hang out from that moment on, you looked at me and you go, that's an episode right there. Like, Travis, that's an episode.
Yeah.
Because, we just get together and we just, talk sports.
So that's how it was. It was, and maybe, I don't want to steal the thunder of next week's episode because we might be talking about the same stuff. But you had a birthday party last year.
Damn, that's right. It was around my birthday. That's right.
And we were here, and I was talking to Irina. She's like, what's up? You guys aren't doing this podcast. I'm like, well, yeah, we are. She's like, you guys aren't going to do it. I said, fine. Just because you said that, I'm showing up Monday.
Spurred us on.
I'm showing up on Monday, and I'm going to have stuff, and we're just going to set it up and do it. And I have no idea what we're doing, and I still sometimes don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, but you know what? Our last episode, man.
But it works. No, listen, we don't know everything. We like to talk boxing. We like to talk life. We like to talk sometimes politics, whatever else. We have fun. You guys know this. It's a lot of tongue-in-cheek stuff. The whole number one, beards, bourbon. I mean, yes, we're just lighthearted chaps, right?
I like it.
Lighthearted
It's a
chaps.
little British in there.
Yeah. We just like to have fun. It's two buddies having fun, and we appreciate those that listen to us and watch us and follow us and comment and rib us and whatever else. It's a good time. We have a good time. And so for me to be able to sit here with one of my good friends and do this every week. Is that what I sound like? That's what I sound like.
Sorry, guys.
I've actually used to my voice now by hearing this. And for my spouse to be on board of me coming on a Sunday night and drinking a bunch of bourbon with my buddy.
Bro, we've drank.
A lot of different
I now
bourbons.
look at this, though, and I think about this, and I think that maybe we should have a talk because we've now drank for 52 straight weeks.
I have a feeling maybe we need to dry out.
Maybe our number one anniversary episode will be a dry episode.
We're getting on the wagon. We're getting on the wagon.
Let's get on the wagon.
So
maybe.
that's coming next week. So next week's going to be, I don't know, we'll figure it out. I'm going to be out of town with my family. We're doing a little staycation.
So July 4th, you should have fun, man. It's a good weekend to have
100%
fun.
going to have a great time. I know you're going to have a great time too. I'm going to have a little FOMO. I don't know what you're doing here, but I'm sure you're going to have a lot of fun, or maybe heading out with the Davises. I don't know.
We might do something fun. I don't know what yet.
Gotcha.
But it might be crazy.
Well, anyways.
Might have to record it.
You should. And we need more content. So we actually.
That would be our year. That would be our year.
I would actually love it if folks would give us some thoughts as to what you want to hear and see from us. Not just, here's what happened last weekend in boxing, or here's what's coming up.
What if they want to see you with your shirt off?
Ooh, that's not a good look right now. It isn't. You want to see how sweaty I am
People
this week?
want
I'm
to
very
see
sweaty again.
the best beard, boxing, and bourbon podcast. Co-host, producer / awesomeness with the shirt off. Can we get a vote for that, guys? Can we get you guys to please comment about how you want to see B Money with his shirt off? I want to see this.
What happened to all of our Facebook living? That's where
we have to get back.
That's where we got
you know
all
what?
those people.
We're gonna
from.
do it. We're gonna get it.
Okay, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Weekend Trav. What am I missing out?
It's a foul. It's a foul. You should already know what you've been
That's
missing.
a flagrant foul.
It's a flagrant foul. listen, no flopping here. You're not LeBron. Stop flopping. We're in combat sports. We're going to be.
So here's the interesting thing. The ratings for the NBA, the conference finals have increased this season. Shockingly enough.
From last year.
LeBron's at home.
Hey.
Interesting.
I'm not saying I'm excited about that, but I'm not saying that I'm not excited about it.
I think, listen, for what he is, great talent, generational talent, not the greatest ever, I don't think, but of this era, yes, he is. This era.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But the guy sucks.
He's not likable to me either. I know.
Like, it's hard for me to say that because for the most part, it looks like good family guy. You know, there's never been any sort of rumor or storyline there. Like,
you don't hear it. Yeah.
No, so
his
that stuff
extracurriculars, you don't
very
hear it.
clean.
Yeah.
But man, he just doesn't shut up.
Listen, to be fair, and I got a buddy who can verify this as well. Before LeBron even became political, he obviously doesn't have the same politics as me.
Sure.
We know this. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't. So that's not why I don't like him. I didn't like him a long time ago. I have my buddies, Will, you better be listening. Will thinks that he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. He always has, though, which is fair. Good for him. He's always thought it. LeBron's been his favorite guy, like, from the get-go. From LeBron's, like, get-go. I'm like, dude, I don't like this guy very much. I don't think he's that good. No, I take that back. I know that he's good.
Yeah.
I don't think that he's great. I don't think that he's better than Michael Jordan for many, many reasons. But regardless of all of that, LeBron is an extraordinary, exceptionally talented individual. 100%. I just don't put him up there with the Michael Jordans because I don't think he has that, like, that grit, that, like, just get through a basketball game without crying or flopping.
He doesn't have
like back in the day, like, those guys. I'm showing my age a little bit because I remember guys used to talk about this with me, but, like, seriously, LeBron is known for flopping like a little.
I hate that.
Like, he flops.
I hate when any guys do that.
Yeah, but he's, like, known for it.
But
like, be tough. We're combat sports guys. Like, be tough.
he doesn't have the killer instinct, and before anyone takes exception to that, I get it. In certain situations, he has, but it's not constant. Jordan always did. He didn't care if they were up by 20. He still had that killer instinct.
Listen, there's two things. There's two guys, Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
They had that
Killer
it factor
instinct.
where they will literally step on your throat and kill you.
Yes.
That's their thought process. And not literally,
I never
but figuratively,
has
that's what they
anyone
thought.
out there ever seen Michael Jordan flop trying to take an offensive foul?
think you're gonna find it.
Have you ever seen Kobe do it?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. So to
Not
me,
at least as much as LeBron has. No.
LeBron will go down like in the annals of history as a top 10 or 15 guy, probably 15. Because you could probably fill a lot of names in. I mean, there's a lot of eras of basketball. Basketball's like changed over time too.
A lot. There's a lot of stuff that's changed too. To be fair,
it's more
referees have
offensive
changed, so that's
friendly
why.
and-
Yes.
But of this era, yes, he is the best. But he is a flop machine and a crier. And I've seen when he was with the Heat and they're carrying him off the court because he strained a muscle and this kind of crap. Come on, man.
I'm a professional boxer, so when guys, like, just limp off about injuries, I'm just
I
like,
hate that.
You know what I love about boxing is I always tell people this, not only because it's a one-on-one sport though too, but because there's no timeouts in boxing. You're in basketball, you're in football. You can literally call a timeout
Correct.
to get an extra
All you
breather,
have is that
right?
minute.
How many timeouts do you get? You get a lot of timeouts too. Like, so to me, boxing, there's no timeouts, man. Like, there's no timeouts.
Well, it's not only
so.
that, we can trav. In basketball, football, and a lot of these sports, you just get subbed out.
Yeah. And that's another thing, too.
Yeah.
Who was it we were talking? I think it was LeBron, actually. There was this back and forth between LeBron and Tom Brady. And LeBron said that he doesn't think Tom Brady should be in the talks of the greatest athlete ever because, though, Tom Brady doesn't play both ways. I know you play both ways, but it's another thing. We're talking about football here.
Talking LeBron?
No.
Not me.
No. LeBron said that he doesn't think because he doesn't play offense and defense, so he doesn't
Still
think he
that
should
much.
be considered in the greatest of all time talks. And
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
not that there's anything wrong with that, but he actually makes a fairly valid point, kind of, because you made me think of it, because I was like, yeah, you're right. Football players, literally, they play a series and then they're out. They don't play defense. Like, you literally only play one position or one
Yeah, but even
side
so,
of the ball.
I mean, a quarterback's different, but even so, like, any other position other than like your offensive line, you can be really throughout the game subbing guys in and out.
100%.
So there are certain play callings for certain defensive positioning. You're going to get some of the main guys on like D-line and things like that playing almost the whole game, but they're still like 80% of the snaps.
Almost the whole game, meaning they're only playing defense, though.
Correct.
Not even playing offense.
Correct. So, but once again, all these different disciplines. I know you posted recently on your social media accounts about the
It
the
was an
toughest
ESPN
sports.
study based on 10 categories.
And so I agree with that. I think boxing, I'd almost say you could kind of lump in just combat sports in general up at the top.
They had mixed martial arts in there and mixed martial
They had
arts.
martial arts, so I don't
Oh, it
like
wasn't
that.
mixed. It was martial arts.
It was just martial arts, so that to me is like
There's a lot.
that's like freaking taekwondo and karate and stuff.
Yeah.
No, I think
Boxing is a martial art, though, so that's why I don't get it.
I think boxing and just combat sports in general is probably the top.
It should be for sure.
It should be the top. My wife took exception to the equestrian thing. I have no idea.
I saw that.
I mean, listen.
Listen, I understand each and
She
every.
used to jump horses. She
know.
did this stuff, and it is a sport.
And I get it too. It's also difficult. I get it. I have a guy too that was a bull rider, and he's like, bull riding is so much harder, Travis. You don't realize. And I'm like, listen, I do realize because, in my opinion, on that chart, golf is one of the hardest sports that I've ever played. Golf. And it was like, I think it was top like 30 maybe. But I was just like, in my personal opinion, golf is very hard. But I'm also a boxer. But what people don't realize is you have to get out of your emotions a little bit because that study was a bunch of scientists that got together and they tested literally like 10 different categories on measurable variables.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that boxing got number one. It wasn't opinion.
And so let me ask you, where did badminton fall in that?
It was there somewhere. I think it was there somewhere,
You know
wasn't
how
it?
tough it is to hit that shuttlecock over the net?
I just think you wanted
Okay,
to say
so let's
shuttlecock.
talk about. So
I was about to go south fast.
So we are drinking Flintlock straight bourbon whiskey. Wow, this is different. Okay, so we definitely not had this. Spirit of the Minnesota Territory.
Hey.
Yeah, it's
I
from,
like Flintlock because
from Princeton, Minnesota. I didn't know there was a Princeton in Minnesota.
I did not either know that.
Minnesota.
I like Flintlock
right
because I
now,
know what Flintlock is. It's a gun term.
Right now, Minnesota is only known for a couple of things that are not good. But this is from Minnesota, Flintlock straight bourbon whiskey. There's no flair to this thing. You're just drinking, and there's not like a lot of notes to it. It is just you're just drinking, and you're like, this is it. But what I will say is, folks, if you look, I'm going to turn the bottle to the side. We've had about half of it.
We have. I know.
And I told Weekend Trav in pre-production as we started sipping this thing, I'm like, hey, I think this is going to be one where we could probably drink a lot of it without knowing.
He did say that. He absolutely said that.
So to me, there's not a lot of bad aftertaste. There's not a lot of, it's just pretty plain vanilla. I liken it to, okay, so this is where the producer starts getting too talkative, which means I've drank too much.
I like it.
In shopping terms, this is like Old Navy. You go to Old Navy. When we were in high school, you go to Old Navy.
Yep, I remember Old Navy.
You just get kind of your plain clothes, and it's all good. You get a lot of bang for your buck.
Good prices, yeah.
A lot of
very
bang
good
for your buck.
prices.
This is the Old Navy of the bourbon world.
So we're getting a lot of bang for our buck.
It was like $30 too.
Yeah,
It was about $30.
I wouldn't disagree. So I'm ready to rate it then.
Okay,
I'm ready.
so we're going to go a 0 to 10 boxing gloves on the Flintlock straight Weekend Trav. Actually,
Bottled by Universal Brands, Princeton, Minnesota.
give me your thoughts, though, before you give me your number.
I wouldn't disagree with what you said. Because I've also drank quite a bit of it too. If you see us on our YouTube channel, you get to view us actually drinking this. So I never blew a whistle on this one because it's really good. So actually, I don't think it's pretty good. I just don't think it's bad.
That's a great way of putting it.
Okay, if that even makes sense, I don't know.
It's not that great, but it's just not that bad.
Yeah, like I'm gonna go like 6.2. So like, it's not a complete failure because that's a D. That's like a D minus, right? 60% is like a D minus.
Compared to our other scores, that's not terrible. It's like almost like a C.
Yeah, exactly. So like,
It's average.
if you do a little curve, if you curve the percentage of the test,
To
then
the
yes.
right or to the left?
How's it hanging to the left? But I don't know. 6.2, I think I said. Is that what I said?
Yes.
What are you? I can't even finish this episode.
So, I'm going to go the same, actually. I was thinking 6.2 anyways, and that makes the math really easy. So, 6.2.
Wow. You did that math really fast.
Thanks.
You must be a financial advisor.
I must be to average two numbers that are the same together. So, yeah, I would say it's pretty average. It's pretty low-key. It just is what it is.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. This is it. Flintlock. That should be their slogan. If you're Flintlock bourbon whiskey, your slogan should be, it is what it is.
Dude, that's like the best slogan ever, actually, because
Boom.
I would probably buy this so we went and we just randomly bought this. We didn't even have a review or nothing on it. We just we seen this. We're like, oh, this looks pretty cool. Let's buy this because we went to the store to buy it together.
In fact, I got more reward points at the liquor
for
store
buying that one.
For getting this one.
So Flintlock, you should reevaluate your whole marketing slogan, and it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Flintlock. It is what it is.
Not
It's
bad.
almost like Dos Equis, the most interesting man in the world.
Yeah.
This
What
is
happened to that guy?
this is Flintlock. It is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not going to hate it. You're not going to love it. It just is what it is.
Just freaking drink it and shut up. That's
There you
pretty
go.
much what. That's another slogan. You know, we're gonna write slogans for a living, bro.
Yeah.
We're like jingle writers.
I like that. Just drink it and shut up.
Just drink it and shut up.
Just
If we
shut
ever
your
create
face.
a bourbon,
Shut your pie hole.
maybe that's our next. Maybe that's our next step at weighing in with Travis Hartman. Is we start creating our own bourbon.
Starting off next week, which is season 2. I'm going to say season 2.
I like it.
Season 2.
Perfect.
Every week, we're going to give a new slogan to whatever we're drinking.
Boom.
Boom.
That's
Done.
it. You guys
Done.
want marketing slogans?
That's a little
We got
sampling.
you.
Little sampling. So
We got you.
Flintlock, we're giving 6.2 boxing gloves out of 10 because this is a beards, bourbon, and boxing podcast, so we have to incorporate the boxing gloves.
Can I give it 6 whistles?
If you blow it 6 times. The whistle.
That's what she said.
The whistle.
Wait, no, that's what
6
he
times.
said. Was that 6?
That's 6.
Okay.
Okay.
6.
There it is. So weekend trav. Let's just go ahead and just transition the heck out of this thing to final thoughts.
Transitional. It's been, let's be honest, it's been a pretty awesome 52 weeks, but it always wasn't easy. Like we had to take time away from our families and take time away from our days, and both of us are very busy men. So, but we did this, folks. We did this for the 100 subscribers that we have. We're looking for more. We're looking for more. Let's get it up. And our last episode, she did say that. Our last episode was our pretty awesome. That was episode 51 was one of our most popular episodes. So it means that we're gaining traction.
And we just honestly, we had no real intention on that episode. We were just chatting about what happened and our thoughts.
Maybe I'll love that better than all the other craziness that we do.
Maybe.
But I feel like my wig is going to it's going to go viral.
That's
This
a
wig is going to go viral. Oh, wait, this is natural.
Oh.
Listen, blonde hair,
I thought you just
blue
bleached-
eyes.
I just thought you bleached your hair and it grew an excessive amount.
I did. And then I bleached my beard back to black.
It's coming in nice. Keep it going.
I know. I'm not shaving it because, one, we have to keep up with this. Season 2.
Our demographic.
Season 2 is going to be our best season yet.
Always looking forward. I like that about this guy. So Weekend Trav, my final thought is I look forward to season 2.
Dos.
Season 2. Episode 52 is in the books, ladies and gentlemen. Special thanks to our media partners, TH Boxing, IF Enterprises, and Gulfstream Financial. We always appreciate the media support. And to our subscribers, thank you so much for following along with us. If you've been here from the start, God bless you, because we know there's been some weeks where it's been trash. I'll be honest.
If you jump ship, I will come. I will knock on your door. When you answer it, ring the kisser. That's for jumping ship on us because we're going to be big
It's different.
time.
You usually would in the stomach. So
This one's in the face. If you actually
Season 2
subscribed, you
season-
left, punch in the face.
Season 2 are punches in the face. So, that being said, thank you. And if you haven't subscribed, do it now. Do it
Please.
now and hit the bell icon too. I think that's what they tell you in YouTube school to do is ask the audience to hit the bell icon. So I guess do
I'm
that.
too cool for school.
Anyways, I'm not too cool for anything.
It's true. It's probably true.
Well, anyways, that's it. That there is Weekend Trav.
That there's B Money, aka producer, aka responsible for 52 weeks of producing this show. Phenomenal. He actually never picked out one outfit though. But thanks, B Money.
You're welcome. God bless.